We've been waiting for this all morning long. Big showdown. David Corenswet, Superman, and Will Reeve.
I wouldn't quite call it a showdown, but it was a nice conversation. And guys, as I saw with my dad, who in some respects became synonymous with the character, both for his on-screen portrayal and through fate of circumstance in his life after, being Superman carries a lot of weight, and David Corenswet has done the heavy lifting, both literally adding about 40 pounds of muscle, and in the sense that he, much like my dad, respects how much it all means to the millions of people for whom Superman is their hero. And so much like Clark Kent and Superman, I tried my best to separate my identity as a journalist and as a son and fan, but bringing all of me to our conversation.
Is this weird for you?
I wouldn't say weird. I would say it's a little surreal in some way. I don't know. It feels special.
It's special for me, too, interviewing David Corenswet. He's the new Superman in the newest iteration of the franchise in theaters around the planet tomorrow.
Superman.
Miss Lane.
GMA viewers likely know that years before he was paralyzed and became a hero of a different kind, my dad, Christopher Reeve, was the first to play the Man of Steel on the big screen.
Hey, Jim! Whoa! Excuse me. That's a bad...
A cornerstone character in American culture, Superman has won the hearts and stoked the imaginations of countless fans. I sat down with Corenswet to talk about his experience donning the cape and tights for the role of a lifetime.
Superman's coming out and you're turning 32 in the same week.
Yeah.
I must say it is a bit odd for the first time in my life to be older than Superman. I still look up to you, but more as a friend and a peer.
Yeah.
Than you can't tell me to go to my room.
No, definitely not.
Hey, buddy. Eyes up here.
Why do you think people have such passion for and strong opinions about Superman as a character?
Well, first, I think a lot of it is because of your dad. I mean, it's so rare that you have a character so effectively portrayed on screen, you know, that makes the actor a global movie star, and they become sort of inextricably linked. And then to have a circumstance in life that puts them in a position where they have a chance to play that part in their lives, but in a public way again, but in a way that feels separate from the film, but not separate from the character and the spirit of the character.
I do wonder, and try to pretend like you're not talking to me when I ask this question. Do you wish in any part of you that my dad, the way he played his character, became famous for his character, and then the subsequent final 26 years of his life hadn't been so celebrated and iconic in multiple ways? Would that take the pressure off of you right now?
Not for a second. No hesitation. And I'll tell you why. I think I identify with your dad, but sorry, I was supposed to pretend I'm not talking to you. You don't have a pair of glasses.
Yeah, I don't. I have great eyesight.
Yeah, that's right. I felt uncertain about whether it would go well, whether I would be any good, whether I'd be up for the challenge, and then ultimately whether I'd turn out to be what audiences wanted or expected or would enjoy.
Superman didn't completely think through the ramifications of the Bravia thing.
Well, if this guy is even from Bravia.
Before beginning filming, Superman director and DC Studios co-CEO James Gunn screened Superman, the Christopher Reeve story, a recent documentary about my father and family for the Superman cast.
And it starts with the huge success of Superman and your dad's uncertainty about taking the role, leaving the theater, the criticism of sort of you're selling out and this movie's never going to work. I mean, like, nobody's going to want to watch a superhero on the big screen. And to think about my own dad, who I lost 6 years ago, I was very close with him, and in moments like this, you often think about he's missing out on this, what would he think about this? I felt so lucky to think of your dad in the same way that I think about my dad, which was sort of not approving of what we were doing, but certainly encouraging us. It's the same feeling I had when you came on set. Everybody's been asking me about what was it like having you around, and you know, the fact that you're his kid is obviously it means something.
And it meant something to me to film a cameo in the movie.
They're funded by the Lord Tech Corporation.
I play a journalist on a, let's just say, busy day in Metropolis.
If my dad were around and you had a chance to talk to him about this role, this experience, what's ahead, what would you say to Christopher Reeve?
I think I would say as little as possible.
He would be very bored by that. He would want to chat.
Our thanks to David. And I had an uncanny encounter with David the first time I met him. I was visiting the set in Atlanta with Amanda, and we're sitting watching all these monitors and things, and out of the corner of my eye and whatever, I hear someone go, "Hi, Will," with a deep voice, and I see this blue and red, and I look up, and I didn't think it was my dad, but I for a second didn't register that it was David, and I just look up, I go, "Oh, wow. That's Superman," who, of course, I associate with my dad. So once I got my bearings, the first thing I did was tell David how excited and supportive I and my family feel for him. And I want to say my dad and my siblings and I, we're not gatekeepers of Superman. David and the rest of the cast and crew don't need to seek our approval or even welcome us on their journey, but we're grateful that they did and excited for everybody to see it.
We had a lot of fun.
We did, and just exciting times. And Superman is in theaters and IMAX nationwide tomorrow.